from New York. No, thank you, sir. My windshield's fine. It's Late Night with David Letterman. Tonight, Schaefer and the world's most dangerous band featuring David Sanborn. And now, the product of billions of years of evolution, David Letterman.
Hypothetically speaking now, let's just say you're a kid somewhere in the western provinces of Canada. Just follow me here for a second. And there's a television show that you've seen every one of for like the last 9 years. So then one day, the announcement comes, guess what? Mom's going to New York. That's right. Oh, but it's... And imagine how excited you as that kid might be when you say to Mom, what about me, Mom? Am I going? No, son, sorry. No, you're not going. Well, you know, there was an interesting an interesting story in today's New York Post. There are actually 8 million stories here in the naked city. Yep, and about a third of them deal with a guy buying socks. That's right. There's another interesting thing in the New York Times. You know, Dan Rather apparently has been going to a therapist, kind of a counselor, once a week. And they have a little transcript of these sessions. And he's saying to the therapist now, he says, okay, he says, now, if the Fox network puts The Simpsons opposite Cosby, he says, what's to stop somebody from putting Popeye opposite me? Well, last night they had a big undercover prostitution sweep operation here in New York City. This was now cops, New York City policemen and women dressed up as prostitutes for the big prostitution sweep. Now, think about it for a second, ladies and gentlemen. Considering the condition of New York City the way it is now, wouldn't it have been a better idea if we had the prostitutes dressed up as cops? Wouldn't maybe that... Hey, is camera 2 ready? Everything tightened up there? Are you all set? Okay, good. On the program... what about me, Mom? Can I go to New York? No, son, you're not going.
Thank you. Hey, Dave. Could you ask Robin Leach something for me?
Well, what is it, Paul? What do you need? What can I do for you?
I saw him in a nightclub about a couple of months ago. He was with a gorgeous girl.
Who's this?
Robin Leach.
Robin Leach, yeah.
I wondered if you could ask him about this, because he had a great date at a club, and there was a high-heeled shoe on the table, and they were drinking champagne out of this shoe. Yet I looked at the woman's feet, and she had both her shoes on.
Isn't that odd?
So I don't know what was going on.
So you're saying perhaps they travel with an extra shoe?
I think that's the only explanation.
Good
I
Lord.
could just see him, you know, hello, Gloria, it's Robin. Bring the shoe. I don't know.
Yes, but what must dinner at their home be like?
No, exactly. I don't want to think about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday night before the big weekend, and I think this may be the final installment. This may be the last time you see this on North American television. Anton Fig, our drummer, has an amazing ability to guess the expiration date of perishable items. Anton, put the Put the blindfolded place there. May we have the perishable item lady, please? Where is the oh, here she is. My, what a lovely dress. All right, perishable item lady. What is the item tonight? We have, oh, Anton, it's bacon. Tonight's perishable item is bacon. And we've cooked a slice for you there. Mm-hmm. Now, Anton will taste the bacon and give us the actual expiration date. Here we go. Watch it. It's amazing. Here we go. Well, all right, Anton.
It's difficult because it's cooked, but...
Yes, that's right.
I'm going to go with October the 19th.
October 19th.
Yeah.
Perishable item lady, may we see the actual date of expiration, please? And it is... Oh! Nice job! Anton Figg. Thank you very much. Anton Figg, ladies and gentlemen. Dave, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but if you'd done this kind of stuff on your little music show, you'd still be in business.
He's got to twist the knife.
It's a joke.
That's cool.
Let's do our viewer mail. Every Friday evening, kids, we answer our voluminous collection of viewer mail here in the building. Let me turn on the machine. As always, we're being assisted tonight by the Puma 206-axis robotic arm. Here it is in action. Say hello. Make it feel at home, won't you? Please put your hands together. It's the Puma 206-axis robotic arm. Here we go. Oh, hey, geez. All right, stop that. Hey, will you... Letter number 1. Here we go. Actual letters from actual viewers. Thank you very much. Dear Dave, I was just wondering, you've done late night for a long time now. Do you ever have nightmares about the show? I know I do, parentheses, not the show, close parentheses. I work at Kentucky Fried Chicken. I always have nightmares about chicken. Well, isn't that odd? This is from Brian Wagner, Cerritos, California. Yeah, you know, you're right, Brian. Occasionally I will have a nightmare, and I'm... yeah, I had one. Oh, man, this was unbelievable. Boy, this was like one of the ugliest nightmares of my life. Well, you know, there was an interesting an interesting story in today's New York Post. There are actually 8 million stories here in the naked city. Yep, and about a third of them deal with a guy buying socks. That's right. So you see, it was just like, oh, man, it was a horror.
Tell you something.
What?
Tell you something interesting. That was not a nightmare. That was from tonight's monologue.
Oh, yeah, right. Like I do a joke about a guy buying socks.
Yeah, like you would, yeah. No, it was.
Mama, please take me to New York. Please. I must. Sorry, son, you're not traveling. Letter number 2, here we go, from the Puma 206-axis robotic arm. Thank you very much, Darlene. Dear Dave, following our miserable performance on the recent Scholastic Aptitude Test, that's the SAT, as you know, Paul. Yeah. We would like to help boost our confidence and gather up the last bits of self-respect we still have. Thank you, Jay Shipp and Jason Galvin, Mattituck, New York. Now, this raises an interesting point because the SAT test, those scores, Jay and Jason, they don't measure your worth as a person. It only gives you an idea of maybe how you're going to do in college. But if your confidence needs a boost, pick yourself up a copy of this new book. Look at this. Boy, oh boy, it's a fabulous collection. Just take a look at that. There it is. It's Dumb Guys Who Struck It Rich. There's Sylvester Stallone, of course, Donald Trump, Mike Tyson, Geraldo, New Kids on the Block. Chapter in here about me. Truly inspirational.
Interesting.
Letter number 3. The drummer eats bacon. The show's a big hit. Oh, hey, come on, none of that. Please don't act up. We have foreigners visiting tonight. I'll take a wrench to you, and you know I will. Thank you. Dear Dave, can anything really beat the smell of fresh baked bread? Yours, Ralph Myra, Lake Park, Florida. You know, this is a great letter. This is the kind of letter I wish we could get more of. Does anything really beat the smell of fresh baked bread? You know, when I first read this letter, it reminded me that there really is nothing like the smell of homemade bread baking in the oven. So I invited Paul to come up to the place, and we'd spend the afternoon baking bread. Gosh, what a wonderful memory that is. Paul and I baking bread. Look at that. The machine malfunctioned. It didn't pick up letter number 4. I'm going to try it again. Can I hit letter number 4 again?
Yes, I think you can.
All right, try it again. This is the first on-air malfunction. No, now I went to letter number 5. Here, so what I have to do now is move this. I'll change positions, all right?
Watch out.
I hope I don't get electrocuted.
Danger.
Is this thing grounded? All right, I'll slide it right up here. Put it down there. Okay, now watch this. I'll straighten that. Uncrimp the edge. There we go. Okay, now let's try it again. Letter number 4. Yeah! I wonder if the thing can guess expiration dates. Wouldn't that have been something?
Boy, the Industrial Revolution.
Letter number 4. Just, dear Mr. Letterman, I think I hear some of your audience members leaving the studio. Just wondering, Rocco Barrera. Oh, my God. Hal, I think we have a break. Hurry! Run down that. Hold it. There. Thank God. They finally apprehended it. Get on there. Now you just sit there and enjoy the show, all right? Look at that punk. Did you see him, Paul?
Wow.
Oh, ugly, menacing son of a... Look at that guy. We have to do a commercial. We'll be right back here with Robin. Don't you believe, Paul?
It's shaping up very
Big show to take off. Let's do tonight's, this is another great top 10 list from the Home Office in Lebanon. Listen, yeah. Tonight's category, top 10 signs, summer's over in hell.
Ah.
Top 10 signs now that summer is over in hell.
Fair enough.
All right, here we go. Number 10, Ayatollah no longer walking around with zinc oxide on his nose. Number 9, molten lava slide closed for season. Number 8, only television station switches from round-the-clock reruns of Charles in Charge to all new episodes of Charles in Charge. Number 7, anguished cries for ice water replaced by anguished cries for cider and donuts. Top 10 ways you can tell that summer is over in hell. Number 6, Satan begins annual fretting about whether it would be cheaper to switch the whole system over to natural gas. Number 5, tours less crowded to see future home of Saddam Hussein. Number 4, Hell's weatherman starts to make jokes about freezing over. Number 3, giant hedgehog comes out of his hole, sees his shadow, and eats 5 people. Number 2, season begins for Hell's official softball team. I'm sorry, I think that should be the official football team. Yeah, there you go, the New York Jets. And the number 1 sign that summer is over in hell, sign-up sheets posted for hay rides with Hitler. There you go. Tell him to stop acting. Just sit there. Don't act. Just sit there. No, just sit there. Good Lord. You know, any kid from Canada could do a better job than you, pal. Get that Winnipeg boy out here. My first guest has built a career out of invading the homes of the rich and famous. He has a brand new television program on. It's called A Preview. It's the best of the new. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Robin Leach. Oh, how you doing?
I love this robotic arm.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
Frightening device.
I have several in my home. Say, you're looking very casual.
It's late on a Friday night.
Yeah, there you go. Now tell me about the big show. How long has this thing been on, The Rich and the Famous?
8 years, starting next weekend.
That's amazing that it's been that long, isn't it?
I think it's going to go into the record books like Chester from Gunsmoke, sort of limping along 20 years later.
No, but it doesn't limp along. It's
bigger and better every year.
There you go, yeah. And now, how do you get to decide who goes on the show?
Well, we sort of, you know, do a little bit of research and check out the bank accounts and what people own.
No, you don't do that, really, do you?
Yeah, we do that.
Is there a cutoff? Now, is it two different ways of judging people? They have to be rich or famous, or rich or famous?
Correct.
I
They
see.
could be both if they wanted to be, but...
So they could be famous and indigent, and they'd get on?
Absolutely. Seen some people on the streets of New York in the last week.
Now, let's not get into that. So, so what is, for the rich category, what's the cutoff there?
Just a mere $50 million.
Really?
Yes.
They have to be worth $50 million? They have to get their hands on $50 million?
$50 million, preferably in cash, but we'll take it in a few odd buildings or stocks and bonds.
And what confirmation do you get of that?
Well, we do. We have our ways, as they say.
Do you really? Do you actually get a financial statement from these people?
Yeah, we check to make certain that it's all right.
It would seem to me that rich people who are not famous wouldn't want to be on your show anyway.
But they all do.
Do they really?
Yes.
Rich people want to be on?
Some of them even call us on the phone and beg.
Is that right?
Yes.
Isn't that, I would think that if you're worth that kind of money, you wouldn't want everybody to know about it.
They're happy. You know, we've turned down people who've
like,
pleaded
who have you turned down?
Well, we actually were invited by the Marcuses in the Philippines and the Duvaliers in Haiti a long time ago, and I don't like those people and the way that they made their money, so they got a big no telegram, but thank you very much.
Yeah, all right.
In other words, we would have shown you the shoes in the closet a long time before anybody else.
So those people didn't get on. Yeah,
that's right.
Now, people. Has anybody ever lied, misrepresented themselves?
We caught somebody out in the middle of an interview. We were interviewing a jeans manufacturer in San Francisco. And I had this...
He had invited you guys to come out, or you found him?
We'd found him, and then he'd very much encouraged our attendance at his home, which was an incredible house in San Francisco.
Right.
But something wasn't quite right. Everything looked a little too new, a little too pristine. And I had this uncomfortable feeling. Call it a sixth sense or seventh sense, whatever.
Well, which one should we call it? Sixth or seventh?
This time of the night, it's rough. And I asked the field producer to go into the garage where we were going to get the shot of the garage doors opening, and we were going to get the lineup
of autos.
A fleet, you know, the stretch limousine and the Bentley, the Rolls, the Ferrari. And I said, just out of coincidence, look in the glove compartment. And would you know it? They were all from Budget Rent-A-Car.
Is that a true story?
That's absolutely a true story.
So that means he's so wealthy he just rents cars like that?
Well, he was... You know, you could have almost done it in my voice. He is so wealthy, he can afford to rent cars from anywhere he chooses.
So now, did you ask him about the rented cars?
No, at that point, we said, you know, what is this with the rented cars? And that was when we discovered he was on the verge of filing for Chapter 11.
Oh, is that right?
And was hoping that a quick appearance on The Rich and Famous would restore him to his former heights of glory.
Yeah, give investors some confidence in the guy.
There you go.
You know, that's interesting. Have you ever thought about this? Just taking a guy that nobody knows and pretending like he's wealthy? You know, just put him right in, like, number 2 on the list?
No, that's on your next top 10 list.
No, that would be fun. Just get a guy and put him up at a little ranch house in Reno or something, and then just go to work, you know, do it up and pretend like he's worth $80 billion.
You could pull that off. I couldn't.
No, you could do that. No, sure, of course.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, we'll try it sometime.
Squeeze another season out of this show. Do that.
You're not short of anybody.
Are we doing a commercial, and then we'll come back with Rob? Okay, we'll do a commercial. We'll be right back here with Rob.
Called Earth.
Now, do you ever go into one of these places? Because a television production crew, I'm guessing you take at least one camera, maybe 2 cameras.
One camera.
One camera, a lot of cable, a lot of lights, a lot of people. Do you ever break anything? Do you ever knock anything over? You do any damage of any kind?
We had a minor disaster when we were with Robert Stack. We caused a waterfall and part of an indoor garden to fall down.
A waterfall in an indoor garden.
It was a little messy. It was a little
an indoor rainforest.
Yeah, well, it was an indoor mud pile after we'd finished with it.
Yeah.
But the worst thing that happened was in somebody's house where we were accused of destroying a very valuable $180,000 Ming vase because of a clumsy...
Whose house was this?
There was a lady who's been in the headlines for altercations with the Beverly Hills Police Force.
Oh, is this Zsa Zsa Gabor?
Yeah. And
that's interesting. You won't go to the Philippines to visit Imelda Marcos, but you have no problem going to see Zsa Zsa Gabor.
I knew that would appeal to you, David. And we didn't actually knock over the vase. We didn't even see a vase.
Yeah.
In fact, there really was no vase.
Is that right? So
yes.
Somebody with her, a member of her staff, said you broke something that
yes.
didn't really exist
and
at all?
So I got a phone call in my office from one of the staff at the house that said that we had better come up with a check for $180,000 to replace the non-existent Ming vase.
Would a Ming vase, sorry, would it really run $180,000, do you think?
That would be a very cheap Ming vase, in my opinion. And they were going to hold the camera equipment hostage until the money was replaced.
Oh, man.
And so I said, well, you can keep the camera equipment because it's not even worth $7,500.
Sure. Yeah.
So they said, well, send up a check for $7,500 for the vase.
Yeah.
So in 2 minutes,
yeah,
it
you
got
went
from
up for-
180 to 7,500. And anyway, we finally settled at $750. And so... That's okay.
A Ming vase was destroyed and the value, you know, under $1,000. Let's call it $750.
So we sent the check up and we got the camera equipment back and everything, and I promptly stopped payment on the check.
Oh, man, good for you. Nice job. Now, did you talk to her subsequently to this? Did you ask her about it? Did you think she knew anything about this?
We haven't. Oh, she knew.
Really?
But we haven't run into each other.
So she was just trying to dig somebody for some dough, huh?
I would, you know.
Yeah.
The sooner it comes out of his mouth than mine.
Hard to believe she would pull a stunt like that. She's a grand lady, you know. Now let's talk about the new show. You have like 2 shows on now.
Yeah, we have the 8th season of Lifestyle starting this weekend, and then
you have this thing, The Getaway.
The season of Runaway starting this weekend, and then starting Monday across the country, we have a new 6-day-a-week show called Preview the Best of the
6 days a week?
Yeah. So we're going to be busy.
Yeah.
Very, very busy, but we're going to enjoy it. It's the first look at the future, all put together in one place.
And what kind of stuff?
Life's coming attractions. It's everything that's new in the worlds of movies, music, fashion, living, vacations, hotels. Everything that is new, all put together in a half-hour show once a week.
You think this will be a good show?
Well, we just finished run-through number 2 today, and it looks absolutely fantastic.
Well, how are you going to do this if you're doing the 2 other shows, and one requires you traveling a great deal, the other traveling some?
Thank heavens for Federal Express, fax machines, and portable phones.
Man, you're nuts. You shouldn't be working that hard.
I know, but
try and relax
somebody got to pay the bills.
The new program is Preview.
The best of the new.
All right, good. I hope it's another big success
Thank you
for you.
very
Nice
much,
to have you here, Robert. A couple of weeks ago, NBC right here, Tom Brokaw, the Nightly News, on their set. What floor is that set on?
3.
Third floor?
Yeah, third floor.
What is that noise? It's gone.
Gnats?
No, anyway, so Tom Brokaw, apparently the whole building is full of mice, but they have an especially bad problem. You don't hear that?
No.
They have an especially bad problem with mice on the NBC Nightly News set.
Yeah.
And so they put traps down, they put poison down, they've got guys down there with pellet guns, but apparently it's getting worse and worse. Hal, do you have some footage of the Nightly News or the feed or something? Let's just take a look and see if we... All right. And this is Tom Brokaw on the Nightly News. There he is. He's talking to... Look, see there? That's exactly what I was talking about. Look.
Most experts say they're pretty slim time.
Yeah, the poor Mike... Awful.
Terrible. Gee.
You don't hear that?
I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
Well, maybe it's just me or something. You don't hear that either? Excuse me, 1 second. I'll be right back. Keep an eye on things.
All right.
You're there, right there. You didn't hear that?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you. Hey, knock it off. You didn't hear that? What the hell's the matter with you? You never heard that. I thought that's what it was. We'll be right back here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Mr. Sanborn is playing with the band. Man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for the last several years, whenever he is available, Mr. Sanborn has been kind enough to sit in with our band, and we're always very excited when that happens. Tonight, we're hearing an actual, complete, full, big-time solo with the band. What is the name of the song?
Oh Girl.
Oh Girl. Ladies and gentlemen, David Sanborn, Paul and the band, and Oh Girl. Son, you know Mother can't take you to New York. Your papers aren't in order. In the basement of her Tennessee farmhouse. This is why, when you buy a new house, always check for two things, termites and TV stations. In the basement of her Tennessee farmhouse, our next guest has a pool table, a washer, dryer, and a television station. Ladies and gentlemen, here she is, the owner of W10BV-TV, Sarah Evans. You know, Sarah, I'm fascinated by this. Tell me exactly, well, first of all, where do you live? What part of Tennessee?
Etheridge.
Etheridge, which is located where?
Oh, about 80 miles south of Nashville.
And this is rural country?
Rural country farmland.
Okay, and you're, okay, now, you have a television station in your basement. How did you get it? Why did you get it? I mean, and do you want it in there?
Well, I'll say one thing. If I didn't want it, it wouldn't be there.
That's right. Good. Good for you. And how did you get it?
Well, I bought it.
Could anybody buy a TV station?
I guess if they had the money to buy one.
Are they expensive?
Well, it's according to what kind of TV station you want. You know, mine's not expensive.
Yeah.
Mine's cheap.
Now you just.
I'm not big time like you boys.
You just.
Y'all are big,
But
big time.
you called the government and said, I want a TV station?
No. We, the cable system in Lawrenceburg used to carry our local stuff, you know, in ball games with the children. And they, all of a sudden, the FCC passed law that said they didn't have to carry us anymore.
I see.
You know all about that sort of stuff.
No, I don't. That's what...
That sort
all right,
of
well,
stuff.
I'm already confused, but you broadcast. It's a broadcasting station.
Confusing thing.
You're on UHF, VHF?
VHF.
All right, here's a picture of the...
FCC.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's it. And I called the FCC and I asked them, you know, why that they wouldn't let me get my stuff on that cable system.
And what did they say?
They said, get you a 10-watt station, Sarah.
That's what this is. It's a 10-watt station.
Right.
And how many hours a day are you on?
We're on all the day, all day. And
24 hours a day?
Yeah.
Wow. And how do you fill up all that programming?
Well, it's not hard. We have a lot.
Heave. Oh, jeez. We can't even fill up an hour a night.
Well, that's your problem. I don't have that problem.
Well, what kind of things do we see on your station?
Well, we film. We have Saturday night. We have a Tennessee Valley Jamboree, which is 5 hours.
Now, but where do you get that? You yourself?
Well, they do it at the City Hall and the Crockett Theater. We have an old theater.
But how much do you have to pay to show that program?
I don't pay anything to show the program.
Somebody's going to come in and close you down, and you're going to do time.
Well, I guess you'll come and bail me out.
You can't just be stealing these programs.
Who would I steal them from? The people is all local people. They're my neighbors.
All right, but you've got like a big 5-hour country music show.
Right, and they're all neighbors of mine.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Let's go, you doggone too.
All right.
Now let me.
All right, go right ahead, sure. Now, what about the rest of the day? What about the other 19 hours in the day?
19 hours?
Yeah, you said you're on 24 hours a day.
We carry movies from Channel 26 out of Florence.
Now, do you pay for those?
No.
You're going away. You're going away.
Listen to me.
I'm listening.
Channel 26 comes up and brings his big cameras, and he films my Davy Crockett hoedown, and I don't charge him for that program.
No, of course you don't.
So, all right, so we just swap.
It's kind of, the old barter system. Sure.
Right. There's more ways to kill cats than smoking, choking them on buttermilk.
Now, there's a show we'd like to see. Choking cats on buttermilk. They call that entertainment. All right, now we have some clips, a couple of different shows that I guess are produced right there in your basement. Why don't you tell the folks what we're going to see first, Sarah? What are we going to see?
I don't know. You got the things. I don't know what you want to see. I brought those tracks up.
Daniel Boone reunion.
Is that what you're going to show?
I guess that's what we're going to show. All right, and this is what you would see on
I can
W.
tell you exactly what it is if you just pop it in there.
Okay. Here it comes, there.
Oh, all right.
We might want to get this on record that we are at the Davy Crockett Park, 1990.
That's you, yeah.
That's
June
a Daniel Boone reunion.
Right.
They're all descendants of Daniel Boone.
Oh, I see. How many people
Have
were
you ever
there?
heard of Daniel Boone?
Yes, I've heard of Daniel Boone.
Okay. There was 300 people there.
Daniel Boone. How close was your mother or grandmother to Daniel Boone?
Well, I don't really know, but her name was Boone.
Her name was...
Okay, all right, now.
Now, what else you want?
I think I know what you paid for that one. Now.
I don't ever pay for it.
I know. It's kind of like a hobby. Now, is your family involved in this?
Well, they all involved in it.
Do you ever get complaints from people? Do you ever get people writing in saying we don't like this on the TV there or stuff like that?
Well, they don't have the quarter for the Post.
Right. Do you ever get calls?
But I get calls all the time.
What kind of calls do you get?
Well, if I do a talent show for some of the little children, smaller children, you know, and I put it on, and they'll call me and say, Sarah, you didn't get my little girl, or you didn't get my granddaughter. You know, you got so-and-so's granddaughter, but you didn't get my granddaughter. And
hey, I think you got another show. And now, do you sell commercials? Do you have the commercials on it?
No, I don't fool with that.
How come?
Commercials is too much.
You can make money. That's really where it is. This could be a money machine for you.
We live in farming area. Farmers don't know nothing about commercials. They've got nothing to sell.
Well, yeah, that may be the sad truth,
I mean,
all right, Sarah, listen, we have to, what? Well, all right, we have to do a commercial of our own right here.
Oh, you do commercials?
Yeah. Would you be interested in having our show on your TV station there?
I don't know.
Okay.
Primary brochure.
The masters of science fiction and horror are unanimous in their acclaim. Clive Barker calls it stylish and hallucinatory. Wes Craven says director Richard Stanley knows the future like Dante knew hell. And Fangoria says it's the best science fiction horror film of the year. Hardware. Rated R. Now playing at theaters everywhere.
Sarah, it was a lot of fun meeting you. May I ask how old a woman you might be?
Well, you can ask.
All right. How old are you?
I'm 65.
65. You don't seem like a woman who might be 65 years old. You seem more like my age.
Yeah. Oh, how old are you?
43.
Oh, well, thank you. And listen, I want to say one thing.
Okay.
I want to thank you for having me on the show,
sure.
and you keep up the good work.
Thank
you
you.
know, there's a lot of ordinary people like us that you have on the show, and you know that this rich and famous, you know.
We don't have to pay for the ordinary folks.
That's right.
That's why we do it. Have a nice weekend, folks. Nice to see you. Thank you very much, Sarah. Pleasure meeting you.
Catch the show the critics say